The question is, why do we fear death? Yeah, okay. I'll just read some of it on this book, page 92. And the book is reprinted, but I left everything as is. So the old book or new book. Why do we fear death? That's the main question. We fear death because we fear the unknown. Because we don't know. We fear because we haven't seen it. Okay? When we understand, okay, everyone is drunken by the wine of Maya, a drunkard is able to manage basic function of life without full awareness. Man spends his life in such unaware state. One spends time in eating, sleeping, pleasure, lust, greed without questioning who he is. Society at large is drunken. Person giving company to each other and accepting each other. If anyone who is sober comes to talk to them, the gang of drunkards persecute the awakened soul or sober person. This occurs throughout history. Many awakened masters were persecuted by the society at that time. After persecuting the awakened soul and sobering, they realize the mistake and begin to worship the very soul whom they persecuted. That happens all the time. I'll just talk spontaneously. Fear of death, because it's a wrong identity that I am the body. Because of association of lifetime, we are spirit, we are consciousness, we are never born, we never die. This is the reality. But we use the body as a function. Okay. Just like car is always there, but we use it when we need it. Same way, spirit uses the body as a means to function, to fulfill all the desires. So, birth and death is like going to sleep at night and waking up in the morning. So out of 24 hours, 12 hours of the day when we are awake, that is life. Other 12 hours, we are sleeping or doing something, that is the night time, that is death. So we don't worry about going to sleep and not waking up. So we go to sleep and we wake up, we go to sleep. So we repeat that. And when we repeat that cycle, nothing changes. From whatever you had $500 in the bank, you wake up, you have $500. You have debt, debt remains. You have cancer, you wake up, cancer continues. So nothing is gained or lost, it's continuity. But we see the continuity of sleeping and waking. Same way, if we see the continuity of life and death, then we won't have fear of death. Okay. Why don't we see continuity? Because past we don't know, future we don't know. So by knowing the law of karma, we think the connection that there is birth is not the beginning, death is not the end. Another perspective is, in the ocean, there are so many waves come and subside. Ocean remains the same. But from the wave standpoint, a wave considers I'm a wave, I'm born, I live for so many minutes, and then I break. Okay. So if the wave thinks in terms of being a wave, then there is beginning of the wave, middle of the wave, end of the wave, and then becomes ocean. Before wave became a wave, it was ocean. After wave was lost, it became ocean. If a wave identifies itself, I am the ocean. Before I was born, I am the ocean when I'm a wave, and I will be the ocean when I subside to be a wave. Same way, you see, before I existed, before I had a birth, I was consciousness. I'm consciousness during, and I'm continuing to be consciousness. Third analogy. It's already in the book, so when you read, body is like a clothing. We change the clothes. In the summertime, we put on light clothes. In winter time, we put on heavy jackets. Even when you take shower, you take off the clothes. You remain the same. With the no clothes, heavy clothes, or light clothes. So spirit or consciousness remains the same. Consciousness remains the same when we are in transition. Then we put on these clothes. And then we die, then we take out the clothes. But since our desires, we are compelled to take on new body, just like choosing the clothes. It's very hot, humid today. I don't want any jacket, I just want swimsuit. But when it's winter, you take heavy jacket. So soul's desire determines the birth and takes the appropriate body to fulfill those functions. Okay. I will read something from the new article I'm writing, and that is about death. So it will be good. Death. What is death? Okay. We are consciousness. Along with that, we have body, we have senses, we have mind, we have intellect, we have consciousness. We have all these three things. Or we have gross body, astral body, and causal body. So when we are alive, our gross body, astral body, and causal body work together. What is gross body? During waking hours, we see, hear, taste, touch, gross body. During thinking time or dreaming time, we are in astral body, means mental body. And in a very deep sleep, when we are in slumber state, when we don't remember, without dream state, that is a state of deep slumber. In that state, we are in causal level, or in deep meditation, we are in causal level. What happens at the time of death is the gross body is gone, separated. Everything else survives. Gross body is gone. That means gross body is made of 5 elements: earth, water, fire, air, and space. All those go back to original elements. From dust it comes, to dust it goes. Okay. But in the entire universe, nothing is created and nothing is destroyed. So if gross body, we know it went to elements, then what happens to astral body? What happens to causal body? It survives. Astral body means thoughts, causal body is consciousness, and all the things stored in the mind, in the unconscious mind called sanskaras, they continue to live on. So that means, for example, this room has space. You break down the walls, where does the space go? Because no, it's still there, right? So same way, our body is gone, consciousness still remains. Just the structure is gone, consciousness remains. Okay. But consciousness, it doesn't have form. So if there is no walls, how do you describe the space? It's nothing. Okay. So same way, consciousness survives. But this consciousness is energy. What kind of energy? Energy in the unconscious mind in the form of desires.